So, my first question is kind of like my fangirl moment.
Oh, okay, I like it.
I've seen that you played Mai Fuyuki in Hokkaido Girls Are Super Adorable, which was my favorite anime of 2024.
Get out of here,
I
really?
loved it so much.
Oh,
and
my
I
goodness.
really did genuinely enjoy that character that you played.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I thought it was awesome, so that's how I wanted to start it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have a story for that. So I got called in and showed up, and the director is Jeremy Inman, and I love him, and walked in, and he said, "Oh, can you do a Minnesota accent?" It's like, no. And so he said, well, okay, first session, you're just going to imitate me, and then you're going to go learn to do a Minnesota accent. And so I worked really hard, and what is the show? I meant to look this up. It's famous for the Minnesota accent. It's old. I mean, they have an old version and a new one. Who knows it?
Who knows where Minnesota is?
Man, it'll come to me. It'll come to me later, but somebody told me to go watch it, and so I watched that. We have a buddy from Minnesota, and I thought he was from Texas, and my husband said, no, he's from Minnesota. You need to call him. And man, the minute I asked, he was like, oh yeah, I'm from Minnesota, and he just fell right into it. Fargo.
Fargo, yeah.
Yeah, at Fargo. And then look stuff up on YouTube. And so every time I drove to Crunchyroll, I would have Fargo on while I drove, but I was not watching it. I was listening so that I could get into that Minnesota accent. So I did the Minnesota accent the rest of the time, but it was really fun to do that.
No, I really enjoyed that character, and I really enjoyed that anime.
Okay, thank you.
So, what made you get interested in voice acting?
Ooh, okay. Was anybody here yesterday? Okay. Oh, yes. I do recognize y'all. I'm scanning the room. So, who's ready to hear the same story? Okay. So, I was an accountant. I had gotten my... Are you an accountant?
I am an accountant.
Get out of here.
I'm not joking. I just started accounting back in December.
Do you have your CPA?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Certified public accountant.
Absolutely not.
Okay. What accounting do you do?
I do accounting for property management, actually.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh.
I just, for the first time, did the business taxes. I'd never done that before, but that was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, guess what's next for you? Acting.
Oh, no. Like, I'm nervous being up here right now.
Well, you'll get over that. Everybody's nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do a side story, and then remind me to get back to acting. So I coach acting as well, and so we talk about nerves. Everybody gets nervous, no matter what level you are. And, not just acting, public speaking, or when you're starting something new. And I had an acting coach in LA because I had moved to LA to do on-camera acting. And it was specifically an acting class for TV sitcoms, so comedic acting. And Leslie Kahn was her name. She's fantastic. She works with everybody from newbies to experienced actors to high-level, like, series regulars. And so she said, hey, everybody's going to get nervous. So here's what you do. Admit it to yourself, because we all try to act like we're not nervous. And who are you fooling? It's yourself. So when you're nervous, just go, would you look at that? I'm nervous. My hands are sweating or shaking or however it comes out. And then, like, squeeze every muscle in your body and make a weird face and... and take deep breaths. And yeah, you still may be nervous, but it releases things, and it works. There may be other things you can do. One of my buddies, he calls it the breathing box, where you, like 1, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, relax. And sure enough, there was a time where I interviewed or auditioned for Monk back when Monk was on.
Oh, really?
I was on the Paramount lot, and I was interviewing for a reporter, and there was this girl. I had gotten a call back. Not interviewing, auditioning. I'm an actor, and I'm calling it interviewing. I was auditioning I had gotten a call back, and the girl that I was getting called back with, she booked every reporter role ever known to man in my age bracket. And I was like, oh. And then I got nervous. So I ran around the corner, and I was like to myself, would you look at that? I'm nervous. Here's why. I'm on the Paramount lot, auditioning with the girl who books every commercial and TV role known to man, that I'm auditioning for. So I did the thing and released it, and I booked it. Nice. No, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes I do the thing and then I don't book it. But in that case, I did. So just whatever you're pursuing, you get nervous. It's okay. We all get nervous. Back to...
I wish I would have known that yesterday.
Yeah.
That probably would have helped quite a bit.
Well, we can all run around the corner and...
But back to
yeah.
Yeah, what made you get interested in voice acting?
Thank you. Yeah, I MBA, I was working in the defense industry as a financial analyst technically, but doing cost accounting work. Wasn't having the best time of my life. As some of you heard yesterday, I loved the people I worked with, and I had been interested in I've been interested in acting in grad school, but hadn't pursued it. Yeah. And so when I was doing my job, my best friend from high school gave me an acting class. And I'll tell a different version of the story today. Went to my on-camera acting class, and I was like, this is fantastic. My job isn't. I did say, sometimes I would leave my job just in tears, frustrated. I went to acting class, and I was like, this is wonderful. How do I get this type of work? Didn't know anything. I made my list, though, paid attention to the teacher. I did a lot of networking and went, okay, I'll tell everybody what I'm doing, because I did do that. I emailed everybody and kind of went, hey, do you know actors? Does your brother's, uncle's, aunt, sister's, cousin, is she an actor? Is he an actor? And so then I just kind of pursued it from there. And in the acting class, I will say at the end, the teacher said, hey, you should get an agent. And I was like, great, what is that? I'll take one. And then I did get that agent. She said, you need headshots. Great. I don't know what those are, but I'll take some of those. And so it kind of went from there, and I just kept... I was diligent. I was persistent. I heard something the other day where I'm in a marketing class right now, and the teacher said, he has ignorant, innocent optimism. And I was like, that's me. I always had ignorant, innocent optimism. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was willing to learn. And I said, I am going to keep quoting you on that. So I just kept doing what people told me to do. And then fast forward, I did on-camera acting for 2 years. I joined an improv troupe, ended up at a dinner with Mike McFarland, who was in an improv troupe across town. And they were talking about cartoons, because I didn't know anime. And I loved animation and said, oh my goodness, how do I get an audition? I want to do that with my ignorant, innocent optimism. And got an audition and booked Pan. And nice. Yeah, and the rest is history, but the rest also was a lot of hard work. I mean, I still work hard. It was a lot of hard work, hustle, and then I started doing other acting.
Yeah, and your anime voice acting list is long. I was looking through it in preparation for all of this. I'm like, oh goodness, that is a lot of voice acting. And going to this next question, What is the preparation for each project that you tend to do?
It's changed over the years. So with anime, when I started, we couldn't do a lot except know what the character looked like or any description. And then we were totally dependent on the director going, hey, you don't know Dragon Ball, you don't know Dragon Ball GT, here's what's going on, here's what's happening in the scene, you're about to fight, or you're about to be a brat or whatever, go. Now, what I was saying yesterday is, because I am a researcher, I'm a nerd, I like to prepare, I like to be ready. And so if I can watch the dub or the sub, I like to do that because I want to get the tone of what's going on. I want to know if it's it's anime, but if it's like this cartoony voice and there's going to be fighting and it's going to be wild, or if it's going to be more realistic and more what I call film acting, because in film acting, it's very close. And so the actor, if just a little subtle eyebrow raise, we get on film. And I did one recently where the director actually said, okay, it is just very subtle, not a lot of crazy acting. And so you need to know that going in. And so I like to know what type of acting I'm doing so that I don't have to rely completely on the director. Yeah. Take it back. I rely completely on the director, but I want to be prepared going in, and then I go, okay, you're the genius. Oh, wise one, direct me.
So do you watch any anime actually in your spare time?
I do. Now, I will say I have a little dude. I have a son in elementary, so I just kind of follow what he does. Okay. It started non-anime, like Blaze and the Monster Machine, Thomas, to Disney Pixar cars, to Dinosaur King. So then we started getting into kid anime. Now we're on Pokemon. So no, I have watched some. So I have a YouTube channel, and so when I was about to do a series of anime voice actor interviews for My Hero Academia, I watched that. But most of the time, I watch what he's watching because life is busy, and so in my free time, I want to hang out with him because family's so important. So It's what he's watching, and I can't get him to watch Dragon Ball yet. Right? I know. It's because I'm the mom.
To be fair, I don't watch Dragon Ball much either.
Okay, this has been fun.
So with that, what's your favorite anime genre you like to voice act for? Any specifics or just sporadic through the different genres?
I like everything. I like every kind of acting. I like anime. I like animation, video games, commercials, corporate, on camera, you name it. My agent even jokes. She's like, I know, you will do anything. She has to stop me sometimes. I am just so happy not to be doing my financial analyst job.
Oh, that
no
sounds
offense,
so nice.
Accountant.
I hate it. Hey, we're just one step away at this point because I'm just getting feedback from everyone. I'm just going to learn. What is your favorite character that you've played throughout the years?
Who can guess? Grandpa! It's Pan.
Really?
I mean, totally. And I will say, I just love her. I love the spunkiness. I love that I got to do martial artists and fight and I love that she loved her family, but it's sentimental because as I have shared with people, she's my first voiceover job to book. It led to other anime. It led to other voiceover work. And so I do have that sentimental attachment.
Yeah.
No, I have other characters. I was in Fruits Basket in the, yeah, we talked about that. I was in the original as Momiji's mother and Rika. And then in the reboot, I was Momiji's mother and had to speak with a German accent. And I had never done that. So as an actor, that was a good challenge because, kind of like the Minnesota, I had to really do research and work and do all the things YouTube was my best friend. My husband speaks a little German, and so he had to help me with the phonetic pronunciation. So that was fun.
No, awesome. So which character was the most challenging or difficult to work on as far as your voice acting goes?
It's probably the German.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that difficult.
Because I would say the Minnesota is easier to pull back. If you asked me to do German, I'd have to listen to myself and copy myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for someone that's wanting to get into voice acting?
I do. I only know what worked for me. So there are so many paths to becoming a voice actor, to becoming an on-camera actor. Find somebody who can guide you, either an actor that you know who can tell you what their path was. But I didn't know any actors at all, so I just relied on teachers, and then I relied on networking with my friends. I mean, now you can look up so many people on YouTube, and people teach on YouTube. I teach, so I teach over Zoom. But then as far as practicing, it's so great to record and listen to yourself, because these days 99.5% of auditions are at home, so you have to self-direct. So you have to get over how you sound and get to that point where you go, oh, okay, so I like what was done here. I need to fix that. And I recommend that for on-camera actors too. That's what I did when I started in on-camera, was I would record myself, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, yeah, she did good there. Oh, but that face she made, that was ugh. But so it goes for voice actors and on-camera actors.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that you can do. Just practice reading out loud. Listen. I mean, this is the same advice I gave yesterday, but listen to actors and make note of what you like, what you don't like, and try to emulate that. And then start forming who you are as a voice actor.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, with changes in the industry currently going on with AI unfortunately being used for voice acting, what is your take on that? AI being used for anime voice acting instead of actual human voice actors?
So my disclaimer is I'm not an expert on all of that. I had a friend I have a good friend who has been in the business for like maybe 50 years or something, and he's done huge jobs. His take is that in his career, there has always been something that has threatened to take over what voice actors do. And he has always had a career, and his career has never been taken over. Now, some of the smaller jobs have been taken over, but he's always had a career. And he thinks he is a voice actor, an on-camera actor, a voiceover coach. I've been in accountability groups with him. I think the world of him. And he said he feels like he will have a career. So will some of the jobs be taken over? Yes. I don't know what the future holds. So right now, it's not my style to not worry. I'm a worrier. In this case, I'm still working. There are still jobs out there. Will some of the lower paying jobs go away? Probably. But I'm just going to go, I'm good. I'm still working. My actors who coach with me are getting great jobs at all rates. So I'm going to keep working until I don't, and then I'll become a professional organizer and organize people's closets.
Organize people's closets. I kind of need that now.
I'm good. You can ask my sister. She's my only referral right now.
Yeah, my closets are a disaster. I have movies in one of my closets at home. I put shelves for my movies in there, and one of the shelves is just all of my physical collection of anime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of anime.
That's awesome.
Yes. So, what would be one of your dream roles to have?
Can it be non-anime?
Yes.
I want to be a Disney or Disney Pixar princess.
Okay. That sounds actually really awesome. Being a Disney princess, would you want to be more like for like more like a Snow White or a Cinderella or?
I think a strong female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty dope. So the recording process for Dragon Ball GT, would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, we had paper instead of, because that's how it's changed. We actually had paper that we read from. And now it's more fun to talk about what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because we have a screen on the left that has dialogue in an Excel spreadsheet format, and on the right we get to watch the video and we get to hear what it sounds like in Japanese. And that's pretty cool because it's easier to react off of the actors in English. And so they will have you grab your lines, they'll have 3 beeps after you watch the Japanese, and it goes beep, 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 and then on the 4th beep, you record. And then you get direction, and sometimes you'll have to re-record because maybe they want you to be sweeter or more angelic or tougher or more urgent. And then sometimes the flaps don't match. You know, maybe there were 9 flaps and you realize that there were not 9 flaps coming out, so they'll have to rewrite or something. So somebody was asking me this weekend, how many takes does it usually take for you to get your lines right? And I would say, I don't know, maybe an average of 3, because sometimes you're a one-take wonder. Sometimes you're not getting it, and you're the problem. Or sometimes you have to rewrite. So it just depends. It may be 1 take, it may be 5, it may be 3.
Okay. Have you ever, during a voice acting recording session, had or acted with someone else in the room that you're acting against? For instance, maybe one of your characters is interacting with the other and just doing a natural performance that way?
So, yes and no. For anime, if you have a supporting, even a small role or a lead role, they always record 1 actor. For anime, the time that you're with other people is if they do walla. And if you haven't heard of walla, it's kind of being like an extra on a film set. So they may bring like 2 people or 4 people in at one time, and there's a scene, and maybe there's a fight with 2 of the characters, and the 4 of you are going, oh no, don't fight him, oh, we've got your back, and they just tell you to improvise, and so all 4 of you are improvising, and so you're all in there on 1 mic, or usually just 1, and then you may do that a couple of times, and they'll overlay the wave files, and then it sounds like 30, or let's see, I think it was Attack on Titan. I went on, and I haven't seen that. That's why I have to think. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for not booing me. Because I know people, yeah, okay, I got 1 boo. I know people love that. I think it was Attack on Titan that 4 of us went in there, and there were like 100 soldiers. Is that right for Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or 50 soldiers or something. So we all went in and did these battle cries, and we did it maybe 3 times, and then they overlaid it to make it sound like 50 or however many there were. And then sometimes they will pull, you may have a bit part, like the fight scene that I was talking about. You have bit parts where somebody may have 1 line, and so all 4 of you go out, and then a bit part would be, oh, hit him. And then the next person is like, yeah. And the next person's like, ugh. And so they'll use those 4 people to have little bit parts, and those actors will still get credits in the anime, but it may be like student 3 versus Bob. Not that there's Bob in an anime. Now, where you do record together is usually in animation, and probably a lot of you know this, but you asked the question. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know. So animation, you will sometimes sit in a room together. Like I did an animation project called Boz the Bear, which is targeted to 2 to 6-year-olds. So I see one of our target demographic kids back there, the rest of you know, we recorded like Boz, the big green bear was in there, the grandparents, I played the mom, so the mom and dad, and then the twins were in there. I produced a project that was just recorded this week where there were 4 guys and they recorded all in one room. So projects like that record all in one room. And that's fun too, because you get to see each other and kind of act off of each other and respond. So that's neat too. Both of them are fun.
So in a situation like that, say you're in like a combat scenario, so you all get to hear each other go, which I always find is funny just because I just mess around. Like I'm just sitting there, I'm about to live stream and I'm just making Dark Souls sound effects.
Yeah.
Like every time I get hit, I'm like, It's just to joke around. I always find that hilarious. Do you ever crack yourself up when you're in a room recording something like that?
Yes. Well, in fact, the project that I'm producing, and this was more animation style. So the actors did their stuff. Then we needed to get Walla, and so they actually pulled in 4 of us, and the scene they wanted us to, and I'm still under NDA, so I can't tell what it is, but they wanted us to be laughing like we were at a party, and there were 2 girls, and then 2 guys, and so we just had to laugh the whole time. So everybody's like, and when I hear people laugh, it makes me laugh. So as I was listening to them laugh and trying to laugh, I actually started laughing more. It was so fun. So yes, there are times where you're like, this is just ridiculous in the funniest way.
So do you have any projects that are upcoming that aren't under an NDA?
Oh, well, so I'm still working at Crunchyroll. Bye Bye Earth, I have recorded off and on because my character was in there for a while and then she disappeared. Well, she turned into a dude and then she's back. So I have that. What else? A couple of Crunchyroll projects. What else?
The Pondering.
The Pondering, yeah. Yeah, I think that's,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that sounds awesome.
Well, and I work in commercials, on camera and voiceover, and I do a lot of corporate work. They're not under NDA, but I'm guessing you're not going to want to hear about those. They're not quite as exciting.
I want to hear about it, but that's just because I like talking.
No, but a lot of the work is Crunchyroll work, and my mind is blanking on some of the other titles I did.
So as far as like the Crunchyroll building that I have just learned, there's an actual building as of my last panel I did.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes. How is it in the building? Like just layout and everything. Is it pretty simple or is it complicated? Have you ever got lost trying to find your booth?
I have not. It's fantastic. I don't know if they have pictures online, but it's wonderful. I mean, it's in another corporate building, so you have to. They don't give tours, unfortunately. You have to be let in, but it's really nice and beautiful and fun to work in, and it's always fun to see other actors that you know. Since we don't get to record with other actors, it's fun to sit in the green room and see who else you know. Or I always. If I don't know somebody, I just introduce myself.
Do you ever hear anyone while you're waiting in a booth just making weird sounds or anything?
You don't. It's so well sound dampened, maybe soundproofed, that when I'm waiting to go into my session, I don't really hear anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, that sounds awesome. Does anyone want to come up and ask any questions? We'll get the line started over here.
Yeah, ask questions.
Yeah, come on up.
So I really don't have nothing to do with the project, but Dragon Ball recently dropped one called Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Daima. Huh?
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm so excited always when the franchise continues. I am going to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. So it's hard to give my thoughts when I haven't seen it. But I was just so excited that they kept on going. And I will say, so I went to San Diego Comic-Con last year for the first time, and they had this huge Daima, like, what do you call it, exhibit. And so I went to the exhibit and took pictures and did silly videos that I still haven't released on my YouTube channel, which I plan to. So it was really fun.
I found your YouTube channel too.
Oh, good. You did. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, my YouTube channel is youtube.com/animeadventures, or you can just search for Anime Adventures with Elise. So I think before San Diego this year, I may release some of those, but it was fun to see the Daima exhibit. Yeah. Do you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I watched it's only 20 episodes. I watched the conclusion yesterday. I thought it was a pretty nice series.
Oh, good.
I grew up with GT, so you can't really beat nostalgia.
Oh, thank you. Amen. High five.
So you do YouTube. Do you enjoy doing it?
Oh, I love it. It's my passion project. So I love interviewing people. I love hearing their stories. So in this case, I'm interviewing anime voice actors primarily, much like Distance Nerding, much like you. Well, I know you interview people besides anime voice actors, but and so when I started going to conventions in 2019, I thought, I will start a YouTube channel, and maybe I will get some insider access with my fellow actors and bring that to anime fans. And it's been so much fun. I've also interviewed directors and writers and other folks as well, and along with some random like Power Rangers and wrestlers and people that aren't necessarily anime voice actors, but it's so much fun hearing stories. And since we don't always act in the same room, I love hearing how actors came up with their characters, or whether they're physical with their acting and how they got started. So I have loved it.
All right. Ooh,
Question.
come on up.
Do you have a VA you admire, like in anime?
Ooh, gosh, yes, there are so many. Oh, I feel like that's like asking a parent who their favorite is. But I will say, here's how I'll answer it. So Rick Robertson, who is here today, is one of my best friends. Because for the past 10 years, we have worked together doing commercials. And so we feel like, or it feels like he's family. And so we have become good friends. We work together. He has helped me. He's mentored me, like all of the things. So he's an easy answer just because he has helped me in so many different ways. I could give you a lot of other people who have mentored me, helped me, I look up to, I love, whatever else, but it would be too hard to narrow it down. But Rick is a clear answer just because literally for 10 years, we have worked together every single week. Hello.
Hello. Since you were mentioning Disney princesses, a little off topic, but who is your favorite Disney princess, and which one would you like to cosplay at all?
Oh, gosh. That is so hard. Well, and by Disney princess, I guess I mean I just like any Disney lead. So I like Beauty and the Beast. I like Aladdin. I like Shrek. I like Moana. I like everything from way back. I don't know when Snow White, that era
goodness.
is like this. Is that 60s?
That was way back in the 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, I like everything from the 60s until yesterday. So, and which one would I like to cosplay?
You got her thinking.
Beauty and the Beast. Because I always in the car, if I'm trying to stay awake or not, I like the good day. hello, how is your family? I'm not going to sing it. And I do all this is the voice actor. I do all the characters, from the, how is your family? Yes. So yeah, maybe Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Come on up.
You mentioned you did commercials. I'm wondering, because you talked about the car dealership, what other commercials have you done before? Or is it just that one?
Oh, I've done a ton. One of my favorite commercials was when I lived in LA and I did a Lexus commercial. And it's when the wife walks out and she's got a Lexus with a bow and she's like, oh. And my commercial husband gave me a Lexus. And so then I had to go, real life husband, I'm driving an old Camry. We need to, nothing against Camrys, but I was like, when do I get my Lexus with a bow on top? But Yeah, upgrade, yes, to its twin. So I've done Lexus, Verizon, Dickey's Barbecue, which is in Dallas. I've done a lot. I don't know, I'd have to look at my resume. Yes. But they're fun.
Come on up.
Yeah, you mentioned first you did that one acting class, and I was just wondering what other things have you done to build your skills?
Oh, acting classes?
Vocal classes, or...
Oh, I love acting classes. My husband has to stop me from acting classes, any classes, Best Buy Container Store, and one other place that'll come to me. So the cities I've taken the acting classes, Dallas, Santa Fe, and LA. I have taken film, so for on camera, film, television, TV hosting, commercial on camera, comedic, TV, what is left? Teleprompter classes. I think that might cover on camera. Voiceover, I have taken commercial voiceover, corporate voiceover, character voiceover. What else is left? Did I do audio? Kind of audiobook. I have a buddy who guided me for audiobook. You name it, I have taken it. I did a retreat in Santa Fe. Oh, with even some actors y'all know. Robert McCullum was there. This was a while back. I have taken every class. That's also why I love coaching, because I've taken so many classes. And even though I coach voiceover, I feel like acting is acting. And so there are sometimes I reference my TV comedic. There are sometimes I reference a commercial on-camera class that I took in LA, because I just feel like there's so many overlapping principles. So, yeah, I've done a lot. Yeah. And I'll say I love podcasts. I love YouTube and listening to it. So even today, I listen to podcasts on acting. Right now, I'm listening to a Navy SEAL who talks about discipline and how discipline gives you freedom. And I listen. So I am I'm addicted to learning, whether it's acting or just some principle that makes your life better. So I can't stop.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. I know this was fun. Thank you for joining me today and letting me ask you a bunch of questions.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on, give it up for Elise Baughman.
Thank you.
Go check out her booth. And if you wouldn't mind, the link to your YouTube channel if you want to tell the audience.
And before y'all leave, let's also... I'll get up at the front and I'll do one of those fun selfie pictures. But my YouTube is youtube.com/animeadventures. And then on every platform, you can find me at Elise Baughman. Isn't that original? Thank you for being here and thank you for the great questions. Yeah.
I am JR from JR's GAM. You can find my live stream YouTube channel by looking that up. I also have cards at the Godzilla Museum booth, so if you go over there, check out all the Godzilla figures and the cards. Thank you for being here.
Peace out. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching. And if you like what you see here, maybe give me a subscribe, maybe a notification bell ring. Alright, go away.